Ethical dilemmas and police discretion. Discretion as a judgment. Discretion is the opposite of routine and habitual obedience. It brings knowledge, skill, and insight to bear in unpredictable ways. Police are not soldiers who must blindly follow orders. Police must be more than competent at applying the rules. They must adapt those rules to local circumstances in a rule-bound way. Discretion as a choice. Discretion is not just a matter of realizing when you're in the hole of the donut or gray area. It involves making personal contributions, judgment calls, exercising, and individual solutions. It's about the courage to make your own decisions, to have personal input following your consciousness, even if those decisions are reversed later by a superior. Discretion as discernment. Discretion is not just about making safe choices or being soft. It's about making good, virtuous choices by habit of the wisdom that comes from it, age. Prudence, foresight, the ability to size up people, arguments, and situations. Tactfulness, tolerance, empathy, and being discreet are all forms of discernment. Discretion as liberty. Discretion is not where the law ends, nor is it the same as intellectually deriving principles from rules. It's about permission to act as free and equal agent and using the permission in extending the rights and duties of office toward a vision of liberty, inalienable rights, and the kinds of things that no majority rule or principle can ever take away. Discretion as license. Discretion is the opposite of standard expectations. It's the privilege to go against the rules, disobey your superiors, be less than optimal or perfect all the time, all without degenerating the rules or eroding the trust between you, your superiors, or the public. License involves a sense of accountability that does not have to be formally recognized or structural. Cause of discretion. Offender variables. Police take adults more seriously than juveniles. People who show respect are treated better by police. Situation variables. Serious crimes gain more attention from police than minor crimes. Presence of a weapon generally causes an officer to overreact. System variables. When courts are too busy, police tend to be more lenient with offenders. When the city needs money, officers are more strict. Areas of discretion. Domestic violence is a major area concerning an officer's discretion and ethics. Domestic violence is viewed as private matter. Female victims of an uncooperative arrest of the breadwinner will hurt in the family. Male officers tend to side with the male. Discretion too far. An example is in October of this year, a kid in California holding a toy gun on the side of the street was shot and killed by a police officer. Now, prior to 2 months before that, the same cop had pulled a gun in a routine traffic stop. Police officers, teachers, and adults, everybody has different ethical standards and ways, and so when people want to take their own discretion into hand in certain situations, people are wired with their ethical system, and sometimes authority tends to overtake and just win. An example of officer's discretion that just happened recently with me was when I was just recently in Miami taking my father home with my cousin in the car. We were on I-95 and the entire highway was shut down, and we were right by the on-ramp, but no cars were coming on. So, and my dad needed to get home, so I told my cousin to get out of the car because he didn't want to do it. I got in the driver's seat and proceeded to drive down the on-ramp of I-95. Now, granted, we were sitting in traffic for 45 minutes, not moving. 2 other cars had followed what I was doing. So when I pull up, the officer stops talking with the man who does the cones and the signs, and he said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Now you're going to get a ticket." And I had tried to tell him, I had to go to the bathroom real bad or whatnot. I needed to get my dad home. Just make up an excuse because I didn't want to sit in traffic anymore. And so he wound up writing me and the other 2 cars tickets. And then he proceeded to let me through. He said, "Well, you already came this far. I'll let you go now." And then as I was driving through the cones, he looked at me and he just said, "Go to court," and winked at me, implying, it'll get dropped. I'm not going to show up. I understand what you did, but I couldn't allow you to do this and get away with it without getting punishment, or else everybody else would have had to do it, and then I would have been directing traffic in a busy intersection already as is. So I understand why he had to write the ticket, to do his job and to not just show everybody else, hey, it's okay, just come on down the on-ramp. That's traffic violation. So, but for him to tell me, go to court, basically understood that outside that police uniform, he understood what I was doing, that I wanted to get on. It was simply just to get off the highway and out of traffic. So that is the presentation on ethical dilemmas and police discretion.